Welcome back to our 2022 Sunflower Preliminary Nursery. I'm Darcel Graham, Chief Operating Officer with Manitoba Crop Alliance and the Principal Investigator for the development of long-type Confection Sunflower Project. Today, we're here with our breeder Mike Hagen at our Holland, Manitoba location, and we'll be featuring some of our top hybrids.
Hello, my name is Mike Hagen. I'm the Confection Sunflower Breeder for Manitoba Crop Alliance. Today is September 28th, 2022, and today we're at Holland, Manitoba at a testing location. In this location, we're testing 132 preliminary hybrids and 18 advanced hybrids. This location was planted on May 27th. Our program is 100% express. All the hybrids that we're testing in here are express tolerant. Today, we're going to take you on a tour so you can get a feeling and take a look at some of these new hybrids that we have. I'm going to show you 7 preliminary hybrids. I'm going to show you 3 advanced hybrids. All the hybrids that I'm going to show you contain a gene for downy mildew resistance and a gene for rust. What we look for in experimental hybrids are 4 basic traits. They need to yield, they need to have good standability, they got to be early for Canada, of course, real short season up here. So what we breed for in the MCA program is long seed with a good dark color. And then we want to maximize that nut meat. We want to have a high percentage of nut meat. Another thing I want to add is we had a major wind out here in July, so it gave us an opportunity to screen our pedigrees for lodging resistance. So anything that we were in question of, clearly Mother Nature took care of those for us. So now we've had a new screening for lodging resistance and the pedigrees. There's a lot of pedigrees that are floating to the top in terms of being able to stand in that 70-mile-an-hour wind and that driving rain, extreme weather events. As a breeder, I've found out that in Canada, you really need to have that. They tend to get those kind of weather events up here quite often. So we're really happy right now that we got that wind, and we're happy with where we're at in the program with standability. So let's go on the tour. I'm going to start with preliminary hybrid entry 5. And you can see, first thing I want to point out is the standability. This hybrid stayed up real well in that wind. We're real happy with the standability on these pedigrees. So you got to have that, and as I mentioned, you got to have earliness. You can see the backs of the heads on this hybrid. They're yellow. The bracts are brown, so this probably hit maturity a week ago. The height is good. Here's a seed type, dark, with a good shoulder, with a lot of nut meat. Now we got preliminary hybrid entry 13. If you look down the row, you can see there wasn't any lodging. In this case, there wasn't even any leaning. So that was very good lodging performance in this location, considering the way the rest of the nursery looks and some of the damage that we can find out here. The backs of the heads are yellow, bracts are starting to turn brown, so this was mature about a week ago. There's a seed type. Long type with a good shoulder and a lot of nut meat. Okay, this is preliminary hybrid 25. And this one's got a little more height, but its pedigree, it really stands real well. The stalks stay real healthy. Even with some height on this, we don't seem to have any problem with standability. It's really got one heck of a root system. You can see it's early. You know, it's been mature for a week to 5 days. We're expecting a real high yield on this hybrid based on the other pedigrees related to this in 2 years of testing. This is actually, these are preliminary hybrids for these. This is the first year of testing for these. So there's a seed type, and again, it's long, got a good shoulder, 1/2 to 3/4 inch long, and they got a good nut meat. Okay, we just looked at preliminary hybrid 25, and about a few plots down, about 3 plots down, is one of the commercial checks. You can see how this thing it went down from that strong wind back in July. Continue to give you a comparison between that and the checks. The checks is what we use use as our baseline. And again, we're not trying to discredit any commercial product. We're just trying to give you a comparison, try to show you where we're at in our program as far as standability. Okay, preliminary hybrid 46. And this hybrid is a little earlier than the first ones we looked at because of the male. And you can see how early it is. See the bracts are real brown. The height is good. Head size is good. The standability is really good. This one's straight too. It didn't have any effect from that wind. Let's look at the seed type real quick. Dark seed with a broad shoulder, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch long. A lot of nut meat. Preliminary hybrid 60. There's a little bit of leaning and a couple of them have crooks in them, but comparatively in this plot, that was excellent standability in that wind. So that kind of standability in this case, we're not afraid of at all. It's early again. Backs are yellow, brown. Seed type, 1/2 to 3/4, black, dark seed with a lot of nut meat. We had pedigrees in the program that we weren't quite sure about, and here they are. The wind was able to screen them out for us. This is great stuff for a breeder, definitely not for a farmer. We want to get all this kind of stuff done before it ends up in the farmer's hands. This hybrid here, you can see that it's right to the line. So it's definitely genetic. It's definitely the hybrid and not something else when it's that defined. Preliminary hybrid 89. If you look down the row, you can see this, on this one, the standability is good. Stayed straight. There wasn't any leaning. It's a very, very good performance for that storm that came through. Back of the heads are yellow, bracts turning brown, so that's hip maturity. Good head size. Yield potential. Seed type. Dark. Broad shoulder, 1/2 to 3/4 long, and full of nut meat. And then right next door to that hybrid is one of the commercial checks again. It's a Confection hybrid, widely grown Confection hybrid in Canada, very successful hybrid up here. I have to say it is on the outside of the plots, so you have to kind of go take that into consideration too. It took the brunt of the wind because it's on the outside of the plot. But one thing that I notice is that once it gets here, everything stops. You don't even have any leaning on this row. So that tells me that there's probably a genetic difference between this and this as far as standability. Okay, this is AYT or Advanced Hybrid Entry 15. This hybrid and the next two hybrids I'm going to show you are in the regional trials, and we've tested all these for 3 years. We're at a point now where we're looking at offering this hybrid and the next two hybrids for actively looking for licensees for some of these products now. And again, it's straight up. That storm almost had really no effect on this hybrid. It's got a little bit of height, but the stalks are excellent. And the root system goes, you can't pull the, I've tried, you can't pull the plants out of the ground. Stalks are really in good shape, and there's your seed again. This hybrid might be just a tiny bit later than the other ones, but not much. You can see it's a little bit greener. Backs of the heads, I think, maybe aren't quite as advanced as the other ones. You can see here. This one's more yellow, but just from my observations I made looking at a lot of these plots, this one's slightly later than say the first 5 hybrids that we looked at, or in general the other hybrids. Okay, so we just looked at Advanced Hybrid 15, and we're just a couple plots down. Advanced Hybrid 15 is that one there. That's a little bit taller. It was straight up. This is one of the commercial checks. This is actually an oil seed. And again, I just want to give you a comparison on, I guess, how we're doing on the hybrids I've shown you today compared to the checks that we use to compare to up here for yield and standability. So the wind was coming from the northwest, and this is on the other side of the plot. So it never got a direct hit. It was actually caught the tops of the heads. So in my view, that means that the standability on 15 is pretty good. Because this hybrid generally stands quite well. Okay, this is advanced hybrid entry 18, and I'll move out of the way. You can look down the row. Again, stood real well. And look at the heads, plenty early for Manitoba. Look at the seed. Seed fill is really good on these pedigrees. Very, very few blanks. We don't find many blanks at all. Good head size. We're expecting a good yield on this advanced hybrid, and there's the seed. And a nut meat. Okay, this is advanced hybrid entry number 17. And again, this is another hybrid that's in the regional trials. We've tested for 3 years. We're looking at possibly licensing it out. It's early. These are earlier than the other two because of the male. Good seed fill, center fill. We'll look at the seed. Okay, really a lot of nut meat. A little bit more narrow, but still got a pretty good shoulder. Fills up good with nut meat.